you doing? I am doing so good. I am like crazy, like out of my mind. I am hypomanic, I think. So I ran in place for 5 minutes, like, because I painted my nails. See, they're nice and painted now. And I have like nail polish on me because I haven't washed it off yet. But I was like running in place, like going like this, waving my hands for them to dry. And I don't know, I just have so much energy. I've been painting. I'm working on this piece that I think I'm actually gonna like the way it turns out. It's like an abstract beach scene. It's pretty cool. I'll show you guys when I'm done. But for this video, I just wanted to like kind of talk about my middle school and high school experience and like what my mental illness was like during those periods. So middle school, going into 6th grade, I did not have any friends at all for the first semester. I sat at a table with like 3 other like random people that I didn't even talk to, and I was a huge tomboy. Like, I wore boys' clothes, and I wore like football jerseys, and like I looked like a guy basically. Like, I always had my hair back in a ponytail, and yeah, so I didn't have any friends. But when the second semester of 6th grade, I found a group of friends, and I became like the leader in that group. For like my entire middle school experience, like 6th grade through 8th grade, I was manic. Like, I was always like so talkative and so chatty, and always being like a leader, and always being like the popular one within my group, and like doing like crazy things. Like, my friend and I went to a perfume store and got a bunch of scent cards, like hundreds of them. And for our 8th grade prank, we put scent cards in all of the lockers. And yeah, I don't fucking know why we did that. We were like out of our minds. But also, I was taking like Adderall and Ritalin at that time, and that shit made me, or no, I don't think I took that until high school. I think that's when I started taking Adderall and Ritalin. But that shit made me manic and crazy. So, yeah, my middle school experience was pretty good. Like, when I was like dressed like a boy, this one guy had like a crush on me, and they made fun of him. They were like, "Why do you like a guy?" Because they thought I was a guy. So I grew out of that though. Like, in 7th grade, I started dressing girly, and I like straightened my hair every day, and I wasn't a tomboy anymore. So, yeah, so going into high school and in 9th grade, so I wrote a poem about something mental illness is real, I think is what it was called. And I dated this guy who was like fucking out of his mind, like faked mental illnesses for attention. Like, he faked having dissociative personality disorder or identity disorder, whatever it is. And he faked having schizophrenia, and I think maybe he legitimately had depression, but so he had like a really bad reputation at school, and he was actually like older. Like, he flunked a few grades, I think. So he was like 18 when he was a junior in high school. So I ended up dating him like midway through 9th grade. And also in 9th grade, I met my best friend in art class, and she was a goth. And at that point in time, I went through like a wigger stage where like I thought I was a rapper, and I wore like red and like rapper designer brands, like shit like that. And I walked into the art table, and my friend was like, "Oh my god, if that wigger doesn't sit next to me, please don't let her sit next to me." And I sat next to her, and she was like so pissed off. But as the time went on, we became friends, and thankfully I outgrew that wigger shit, and I started dressing goth then at that point. So I had goth friends, and the guy that I was dating, that freak, he gave me like a bad reputation because he was like into drugs and like fucking Satanism and like all sorts of ridiculous shit. He was just out of his fucking mind. I don't know why I dated him. I was desperate. He was my first boyfriend, so I just wanted to have that experience because I was 14 and I hadn't had a boyfriend yet. So I don't know. Like a lot of rumors spread about me when I was dating him, and in let's see, so that was like freshman year. I dated him for a year, and then I dated this other guy who was like a good kid for the most part, and then I like turned him bad. Like I turned him into like smoking cigarettes and smoking pot, and like we planned to commit suicide together by drinking bleach, but we never actually did that. We just talked about it, and I ended up getting him sent to like the mental hospital, and his mom like wrote a letter to me or something saying that I was a horrible person, and it was disastrous. And in my last video where I talked about I was in a drawing class and he was there at the table and yelling at me saying that I was like a cutter and suicidal and shit like that. Like he just spread all sorts of rumors about me. So, and at that point in high school, I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder and ADD and social anxiety. But like they had no idea that I was like bipolar, and obviously they had no idea I was schizoaffective. Like I have schizophrenia too, because I have hallucinations and delusions and paranoia. So yeah, it was really rough being undiagnosed and like seeing things. Like I remember one time in high school, the electricity went out and I was in the bathroom in the dark and I thought there were ants in my underwear, and I was like rapidly like swiping at my underwear and like trying to get the ants out. They were just like crawling all over me, and I went out of the bathroom and I just started like running down the hall screaming, "There's ants in my pants! There's ants in my pants! There's ants in my pants!" And I don't know, nobody did anything. Like nobody like said, "What's wrong with you? Do you need help or something?" I was just like out of my mind. Like I had this delusion that there were ants in my pants, and it was so weird. And just like I would hallucinate all the time. Like I would see things like on the ceiling. I remember one time I was in middle school. I was in like 7th grade, and I saw like dancing monkeys on the ceiling, and um yeah, so yeah, I was like manic through most of my um high school and middle school experience. Like the Adderall and Ritalin that I took in high school really like pumped me up and really made me like super manic and super crazy. And yeah, I was just like not a good kid at all. Like when I was in like not 7th grade, like 11th grade, I was dating this girl and we like made out in front of everyone in the lunchroom, and I got sent to the principal's office saying that I couldn't make out with a girl, that's inappropriate. So that's totally fucked up because I don't know, gay rights. Gay people are people too. Like, what the fuck? Just because they like the same sex doesn't mean they should be discriminated against. Like, I thought that was so ridiculous, and yeah, like, it's horrible. But yeah, I did stuff like I stole like a lot of stuff like from the bookstore, like books, and I don't know, like I always steal like necklaces and like stuff like that. And I finally got caught one time, and the like mall cop who caught me was like, "Well, since you're under 18, we can't press charges. Just have your parents come pick you up." So that's what happened. I didn't get in trouble, but I stopped stealing at that point, and like I would always be like smoking pot and like popping pills and just like everything. So I was really messed up. Like if I wasn't manic, I was like seriously suicidal, like just on the ground, like crying and like sobbing. And, like I was a cutter. I cut my wrist and I would cut my legs, and I was just really in a bad place. I was just completely out of control. And yeah, I mean, I started getting more stable in like 12th grade because I didn't go to my high school in 12th grade. I went to the high school's like technical school and took a computer class, and then I took a class online, and I still got my high school diploma even though I wasn't technically in high school. So, that kind of like, I don't know, it cleared my mind up a little bit, and I got a little bit more stable, I think. But I don't know. I mean, and then of course, I'm not going to talk about college because that would be too long, but that was my middle school and high school experience, just kind of like all over the place. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed my stories, and thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed to me, please subscribe to me, and check out the live stream that I did. It's the last video that I posted of Tripolar Troy and Greatest Society. We did like a 2-hour live stream together, and it was really fun, and I think we were entertaining. So check that out if you want. So thank you guys so much. I love you guys, and please have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.